Welcome to Watch Symposium. I'm Austin. All right, there was an interesting comment in, I believe it was Elements of Schi video. I think it was by Jay Sykes. He talks about Archie coining the term Schi, and according to Jay, and I think Archie would probably agree with this, one of the elements of a Schi is you, to quote Archie, do your ass when you get it. If you try to sell it, right, you lose money. At best, you lose a little bit of money, and at worst, you lose a lot. And of course, you look for pieces that you can sell at a profit. Now, I think if you're a flipper like Archie, that's pretty key. Now, I'm not a flipper. I've never sold a watch in my life, but it's good to know that I could get out of my Rolexes and not lose a whole lot of money. I'm in the red as far as service costs go. I don't know if I could make that money back, but could I make back what I actually laid down for the watch? I think absolutely I could. But yeah, could I make a profit considering the service costs? Well, that's probably a good topic for another video. But yes, I could get out of the watches, and in that sense, they stand up to this metric. Now, speaking of metrics, let's go through those elements of a Schi. Now, the first was that the company doesn't make its own movement. They have to rely on a third party for their movement. Number two, outsourcing. They either outsource a little or a lot, or order their watches from a factory not of their own. The more outsourcing, the worse. Number three, bought and paid for history. Buying a name, claiming its history for your own. Number four, overpricing. And number five, an unrealistic conception of their own place in horology. Basically, trying to be more than what they really are, which manifests itself in element 4, which is overpricing, trying to establish that value by, appealing to our nature to see value in a higher price. And number 5 also manifests itself in the fake history bet, where you try to claim heritage that was purchased along with a name. So can we add number 6? Sell at an extreme loss. Well, I think it's a good idea to be mindful of that when you're buying a watch. But as far as, an objective element to defining a Schi, I don't think I would go there. I think the market's fickle enough that, you see things like the OMV, which, according to a viewer, has gone down in price like I predicted. I can't confirm that, but you saw that, prices kind of artificially inflate. There was some fervor when they came out with the second version of it, and people get a little bit silly and they start trying to think, and call these future classics. And so it's the market's fickle. It doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense. So to keep things more objective, I don't think that's a good metric to add to our definition. The resale value, a couple years ago on this watch was probably low. I know you could buy these for mid 4s. I got this one for low 4. So all of a sudden, is it? Well, does it participate in that element of Schi? I wouldn't say so. The market's weird. The market's fickle. The market doesn't make a lot of sense. People don't make a lot of sense. They don't make they don't make rational decisions when buying and selling used pieces. Overinflation, overhype, the idea that it's going to become a classic, that it's not going to become a classic. I mean, it's just it's too big of a chance, and it's kind of impossible to add that. And I'm losing my train of thought here. I'm sorry. But it's too big of a chance, and too big of an unknown. That's the word I'm looking for, to add that to our definition, because we just don't know. I mean, and by the way, I mean, if weird stuff happens and, you know, really poor quality watches start selling for higher prices because of silly things like celebrities wearing them, or, you know, chatter on forums about them being discontinued, or this and that, it's just not objective. I think, you know, our 5-element definition so far, I'm willing to add to it, but so far seems to be like a really good objective measure that doesn't take into account the nuttiness of the market and so forth. So, but it is an interesting idea, the idea of buying a piece that holds its value. Anyway, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Take care. See you next time.